Hello everyone, Rukhsi from Creatifecundity Incorporated is here with episode 17 of the Social Change Creatively for Social Justice video series. You can see the beginnings of fall with the fallen leaves on the ground. See how they are resting as they have tumbled to a new home on the earth. From this tree above, these leaves represent various aspects of our lives. They are just like immigrants, migrants, the homeless, and temporary residents who leave their homes to resettle in a new land and begin anew. Their lives are not easy because many times they leave behind the familiarity and support of extended families, cultures, and age-old traditions. They begin their life in a new world. This episode strikes home to me because I am a biracial immigrant woman who is the daughter of immigrants. I have known such severe hardship here in the United States that I wonder sometimes how I am still standing here. The feeling that I have is of being battered and bruised from my experience as an immigrant in this land. I endured hardship because I gave all of myself to supporting, creating, and working for others, namely wealthy Americans, in my career and education. But I also gave of myself in the short-term relationships that I had, and in return, I received minimal to nothing in terms of salary, work-life balance, longevity, financial and emotional security, nothing. Which is why I left those short-term careers and relationships, the few that they were, like these leaves on the ground. To give you an example, I was encouraged as a minority woman small business owner to apply for an agreement with another county. And I worked so hard to write a 15-page application on my background and experiences. And despite all the work I put in, the time and effort, as well as the money for mailing costs, because they asked for a number of copies of the application, they have not yet moved to an environmentally sound application process in sync with our COVID-19 working world, where applications are sent online. I had to mail paper copies to them. And despite all that work, my application was rejected because of discrimination against me as a solo woman-run small business. Once again, defeated by feelingless bureaucracy that is continuing to run a world with mediocrity instead of creativity. With one of my parents in the hospital and the other desperate because of the funds we need to cover medical expenses for that parent, diagnosed with dementia last year, I frantically applied and just this past week, after years of trying so hard to financially grow my minority woman small business, was just offered another form of employment that I am passionate about and that jives with my character, for it has to do with teaching writing, and I have been a writer for many years. I signed the contract and am exuberantly excited to be started. And after a long period of free service to others, finally earn. It is an earning that I can apply to help my parents' medical costs and pay off their borrowed debts as immigrants in this land. My fellow immigrants, migrants, houseless, and temporary resident friends, life is how you make it. It takes effort. Many times you do not even have the support that you need to make it, but you have to pick yourselves up. Keep reaching out for that support. The same happened in my education. During my initial study at the graduate level, I did not find steadfast support from faculty members for the subjects that I was eager to study because they represented who I was existentially and resonated with my being. I kept reading, learning, and reaching out, and finally, after 5 years, I was able to assemble a supportive team of faculty who supported me equally in return. After witnessing all the hard work, research, and writing I had done to spread knowledge in this world and enlighten our understanding of our bicultural and creative experiences. Looking back, I realized that in all 3 areas, career, education, and short-term relationships, where I gave myself fully and did not receive back equally in return, they all happened because I did not have a secure self-esteem and self-value. I felt I had to prove myself to be worthy of the careers, relationships, and educational degrees. So I put up with such relationships that I did not even deserve. For example, in one short-term relationship, the person who expressed interest in me also expressed interest in another girl and was involved with both of us at the same time. At that time, I did not seem to mind because for me, I was just getting to know somebody else. But throughout it all, I felt such a formality in the relationship. There was no sense of emotional feeling and emotion towards me. There was no sense of equal care. I look back now and I understand why I left those careers and short-term relationships. Now I know that I am worthy of the same committed care. The same way I only choose friendships and a relation based on equal respect and care. If the person in a relation is looking at expressing interest in and involved with someone else aside from you, then that person is simply not committed to you and not deserving of you. As my maternal grandparents and parents can attest, based on their committed loving relationships. My fellow immigrants, migrants, houseless, and temporary resident friends, this year of 2022 has been a year of change for me because it brought into my life friendships and now a career that is equally giving and caring to me as I am. I wish the same for you. You have to work for it. And you have to make known that you will accept no less from your career, education, friendships, and relationships than all that you give to them. We as a society, especially those of us who have histories of immigration and migration to different lands, and those of us who are native but have been colonized by other people, we deserve support from all those with the resources and the means. You immigrants, migrants, houseless, and temporary residents deserve support because of all that you do in your provision of goods and services to others. In the beginning videos of this video series, I mentioned community councils and how necessary they are to helping our fellow immigrants, migrants, houseless, and temporary residents transition to their long-standing homes. Let us all together support our immigrants, migrants, houseless, and temporary residents, because we are all immigrants, migrants, and temporary residents on this earth. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to this channel. I leave you with elevate and equate. Immigrants, migrants, houseless, and temporary residents. Embrace their experience. Incorporate their quintessence and cherish their existence.